If you did not do that, you may have also found a bigger 2 in this, which you can do like this. Right? So you probably clapped one of those 2. Now, what makes something compound is if we take that big rhythm, the big 2 that I found, right, which was clapping basically here and here, the halfway point of the beat. We took the big 2, and then let's divide that in half and go down to the smaller subdivision. If you remember from the first class, what we do is we took quarter notes, right? Let's find one. Here's a quarter note. And we can split that in half into eighth notes, right? 2 eighth notes make up a quarter note. With me? 2 eighth notes make up a quarter note. So if we took that big beat that I was hearing, what I called the big 2, and we slice that in half, what we end up with by going down to the faster beat that I think most of you probably clapped on, that adds up to 3 of those for every one of the big beat, right? So 3 of those for every one of the big beat, like this. Here's the quick beat. And here's the big beat. Right? So there are 3 of the faster pulse for every one of the slower pulse. So it's a 3-to-1 relationship. Thus gives us compound meter. Now, how many in this case, we're in the meter of 6/8. We're going to talk about meters in just a minute, but we're in the meter of 6/8, which means there are 6th eighth notes, right? And typically, we can feel that in 2 if we want, which might blow your mind. Why? The reason is, in compound meter, we group things by 3s. And there are 2 sets of 3. And that equals 6 eighth notes, but it also equals 2 big sets, right? What if we were in 9/8? We would feel 3 big sets of 3, or 9 eighth notes. Now, jumping back to our little clapping or banging or hitting experiment, which of you was right, right? I suppose I should give you a correct answer. Those of you that clapped the 6 eighth notes, the faster one, or those of you that clapped the 2 big beats, which of you was right? The answer is, you're both right. Because I didn't say clap the 8th note, in which case, if I would have said that, then those of you that clapped the faster one would have been right. And if I would have said clap the dotted quarter note, then the ones of you that clapped the slower one would have been right. But I said clap the beat, which in this case is a bit subjective. It's whatever you feel the beat is. So you're both right. Okay, so that's basically what compound meter is. It's when we take the big pulse and we divide it in half, we get groups of 3. And there's a couple different ways we can do that. And let's get into talking about how this works right now.